Hi y'all, welcome to this channel where we discuss everything related to the COVID-19 pandemic as caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. In today's video, we'll continue to follow state-by-state trends and look at differences across certain states in the United States of America. On the last series of videos, we went through the top 8 states by population in America. So those were California, Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, and Georgia. In today's video, we'll look at the next 4 states by population, and those are North Carolina, Michigan, New Jersey, and Virginia. Because these states are relatively similar in size, we can compare trends across them without too much worry in terms of number of people living in each state. So North Carolina has around 10.5 million people, Michigan at just 10 million people, New Jersey about 8.9 million people, and Virginia at 8.5. So roughly a rather narrow range in terms of population across these 4 states. Now looking at the 91DVOC website that shows visualizations of the data based on the Johns Hopkins Coronavirus Resource Center data, we can see the trends of these states as they started from March, start of the COVID cases rising in the United States, to today, November 24th, 2020. Starting in March and going to the April timeframe, we saw New Jersey have a rather large spike, pretty much on the heels of the large spike we saw in New York initially. Michigan also started to climb quite rapidly into April. Virginia and North Carolina showed steady increases during that period of time. After that initial spike by May, both New Jersey and Michigan started decreasing new confirmed cases, while Virginia and North Carolina continued to show a steady increase. As we move into the summer months of June and then July, we see North Carolina continue to increase and spike, crossing the 1,500 new cases per day mark by July, while New Jersey continues to stay low after their initial spike at over 3,500 cases. In April, they were able to contain in the summer months at under 500 new cases per day. Both Virginia and Michigan showed some increases over the summer, hovering between 500 and 1,000 cases a day. While North Carolina did peak in the summer month in mid-July at about 2,000 new cases per day. As we move into the fall, North Carolina was able to come down to just over 1,000 new cases per day. All 4 states seem to hold rather steady throughout the August-September timeframe. However, as we now move into October and middle of October, we're seeing cases increase across all 4 states and at rapid rates and potentially accelerating. So now moving into the month of November, of these 4 states, Michigan has been skyrocketing and increasing at an alarming rate. And until today, Michigan is seeing over 7,000, close to 7,500 new cases per day. Since the peak in April, New Jersey, the green line, has now seen a rapid rise to match and surpass their initial peak of close to 4,000 new cases per day. North Carolina is also at the highest it has seen, at over 3,500 new cases per day. Likewise, Virginia is also on the increase at just over 2,000 new cases per day. So now we can also look at deaths. And in the green, back in April, mid-April to May, New Jersey saw a spike in deaths, seeing almost 300 new deaths per day. That has come down drastically over the summer months, outside of this spike in the late June timeframe. Other than that, New Jersey has been able to keep deaths relatively low, although in the month of November we are seeing increase to today of 27 deaths per day. Michigan also saw its spike in the late April timeframe at close to 140 deaths per day. It has also come down over the summer months, however has now increased lately in November, recently closing in over 70 new deaths per day. For both New Jersey and Virginia, the deaths have been relatively steady over the stretch since April to today. There were some rises and falls, both seeing between 10 to maybe 40 new deaths per day. There was a slight peak in Virginia in mid-September at just over 40 new deaths per day. However, that has somewhat stabilized. For the month of November, however, both states of New Jersey and Virginia are increasing or seeing increases in their deaths per day. Virginia is almost at 20 new deaths per day, and New Jersey is over 25 new deaths per day as of November 24th. So hopefully that gives a sense of the trends of COVID-19 in the 4 states discussed today. Those were Michigan, North Carolina, New Jersey, and Virginia. While these states are rather different by population, they are similar, and that is why we compare these 4 states together. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. And remember, wash your hands, social distance, and wear a mask. We're all in this together.